A very good evening to you all. Yes, it's 6 o'clock. That means we've got another launch of a very special one-day special. And we've got a very special guest as well. Shall we say good evening to Lou Sims? Here she is, looking very smart in her apron, I've got to say. Ooh, look at you on your red apron.
I know, but I'm not quite brave enough to make it messy just yet.
Oh, we might have to change that by the end of the one-day special. Well, I'm excited as well because I get to play a little bit this hour as well, so I'm really looking forward to it. But what's it all about? Of course, we've got Gelli arts for you. We've heard of Gelli plates, we've seen the techniques. We're going to see much more of these as well. And we've got some great deals for you as well. So let's have a look at the one-day special. Of course, it's brand new today. Don't need to have to ask that, do we? Now, what have we got here then, Lou? We've got all sorts in this bundle, haven't we?
Oh, it's a really brilliant, comprehensive starter kit. So you'll get a little 5x5 Gelli plate.
Yep.
You'll get feathers in there. You get a selection of paints. You get a selection of the parchment paper to print on. You get the punchinella, which is like a stencil. Yeah. You get the lolly sticks. Now, the lolly sticks you can take the paints out with, or you can actually start to make marks. Oh, nice. With the paints. Use them as tools as well. Okay. And you then get the feathers. And the feathers look beautiful once they're printed up.
Well, they do. And of course, you get the Gelli roller in there as well. In fact, talking of feathers, we've got some here, Lou, that you have decorated. We can see some gorgeous samples around the studio as well. There's quite a lot of feather painting. Now, the paints that are included in here as well, Lou, what are they? Because we've got different types of paints in here as well.
Well, you've got the Gelli Arts paints in there in a range of different colours that you can blend together to make, you know, your own colours with as well. And then you've got a separate set of paints as well, which is different, which is metallics, which are absolutely beautiful.
They are. I've got a little swatch sample here as well. Gold and silver. You can see some of the paints used on the feathers as well. I mean, that's just part of it, isn't it? The feathers is just one idea. But the backgrounds you can create, the different designs you can create, we've got loads of gorgeous samples on the counter here. Now, I've got to just let everybody know, Lou did this just before the show, so it's a little bit wet. But you can see there those beautiful metallics, the gold and the silver there, and your different types of card.
Yeah, because I think I mean, we're going to be printing tonight mainly on white and maybe a bit of black, but it's nice to see the colours on different card stocks.
Definitely.
And actually, how much punch of metallic you've got. So I've done a line across the top, which is just like a blob, but then I've painted it out. So if you wanted to paint it, or, you know, just to show that it doesn't lose any of its strength or, you know, density and colour.
No, particularly I'm looking at the craft card there as well, because you'd think that would be one of the card stocks that would lose the effect from the metallics a little bit. And we've got all sorts of Gelli prints here as well. Look at the feathers here. How amazing is that?
And that's on the Gelli Arts parchment paper, and layering up and just putting two feathers on and just pulling a quick print.
Absolutely love it. We've got more parchment paper there as well, and of course you talked about those different card stocks. This is an envelope, in fact, this one here, look at that.
So if you're into, I print on envelopes a lot for little memory books and art journals, so I can actually print to do different backgrounds. So there is loads you can do. You can go very mixed media if you want to go, but you can also go very clean and simple with a Gelli plate as well.
You can. You've got, that is a beautiful sample, the one with the yellow feather there. Now, I know, Lou, that you did an amazing picture and you've gone and left it at home.
Know.
You hung it on your wall to take a photo.
I will email it into the studio because I have got it on. So. But that's just me doing printing of the feathers, and I've just cut them down. Simple mat and layers.
Yeah. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
And that's just using up a background and then printing a feather and adding the feather on top.
And we've got another feather in this next sample as well. Isn't that fantastic? Now, you can go for extra feathers as well. We do have details at the bottom of the screen for you. We're already very busy, I've got to tell you. 145971 is the item number for those feathers. You can see the type of feathers you're getting because there's feathers and there's feathers, isn't there, Lou?
They're beautiful. Now, you can print with them, keeping the feathers like that, or you can start teasing them apart a little bit, and then you can get more of an open feather. Yeah. I mean, one thing I didn't say about it, it comes in its own little box, its own little plastic container. So everything is self-contained. So when you finished, you can put it all back inside the box and pack it away for another day.
Amazing. So you literally are taking everything from the pack and you can get going?
Straight away.
Perfect, that's what we want, isn't it? 376375 is the item number, only £27.99. We are very busy. I've not even told you about the saving. You can see it there in the yellow box. £9.36 is the saving. But you know what? We are very busy. In fact, almost 20% of the stock has already gone. Now, if you do want to split the cost, you can do that as well. We've still got Flextravaganza running until Friday. So take advantage of that as well. Split the cost down into two. Very, very busy indeed. But we've got more to show you as well, because when it comes to the jelly plates, of course, they're available in different sizes as well. So for the next item, we're looking at the 5x7. Now, you've also got a stencil in this one as well, which I've got to say, I did choose as one that I wanted to work with, which I absolutely love. Tell me about this size plate then, Lou.
The 5x7 is a great one for me. I use it a lot for making card backgrounds.
Yeah.
Because I can put it on an A5 card blank straight away, a 5x7 card blank. You can do it slightly off for a 6x6, and I love it for that size alone. I also love it because tags. Yes, so you can actually lay your tags. You can put 3 tags on there, and you've created. So it's a really nice one to play with. You know, if you just want to have a play, but you don't want to get everything out, it's a nice size to do. Absolutely with,
isn't it? And I know many people that have got various different sizes of jelly plates, because once you get going with this, then you just want to get more, don't you? Let's have a look at one or two samples for this one. £22.99 is the price of the bundle, a £5.75 saving as well, 005495. Now, before the show, Lou, I did say I love these samples. Did you do them all? And you did say yes. But what you did tell me, and I hadn't realised straight away, some of the backgrounds that you've created that you've not been overly keen on. No. You will never get rid of, and you've just stamped and cut out. Yeah. That is, I just love these. But I just think the effect is amazing. I mean, if you see me watercolour, I'm a really quick watercolour, and it's the same with stamping. So now I've got a whole load of coloured images straight away. Love it, absolutely love it. So do not throw any of your backgrounds away. This is what I love about Jelly Plate. You can have so much fun just playing with the colours, just creating, and then you might think afterwards, well, I'm not quite sure what to do with the backgrounds now. That's all you need to do, stamp on them, cut them out, build collages up.
And also the tape bits on there is using the sellotape trick. And
these here?
Yeah, so when you want to clean your jelly plate up, you can use the sellotape trick. You can pick up all the paint, and then you can add gilding flakes or foil to it. And then you've created another form of embellishment. Love it. I've printed on stickers, you know. So your jelly plate can take away some things you don't quite like the look of, and you can then print on top of those. Or if you don't like the prints,
love it.
Collage it up.
Love it. Oh, just now I'm getting more and more excited about this show. 005495, remember, for that item number there. Now, moving down again, if you want to go large, what about this one? Look at this. You've got your 9x12. Now, I've noticed with this one, Lou, we've also got grids with this. It's a piece of kind of acetate or printed acetate with a grid on there. So why is that important?
Well, if you want to line up, you know, if you were going to use it, I mean, we're using our mats, you can cut a piece of paper or a piece of card and line it up specifically. So if you were multi-layering, you can then use the grid to put your paper or card in exactly the same spot each time. Ah. So you can do that. Same with if you're placing a stencil down and you wanted to multi-layer. So the grid is absolutely brilliant for that.
Wonderful.
And it's a really thick acetate.
So I presume you can use that if you want to, or if you don't want to use it, you can take that away. So you've got the choice there. Amazing. £37.99 is the price for this one, an £8 saving. Perhaps you started small, you want to move up to a larger plate, then this is for you. 939498 is the item number. Now, we do have a starter kit for you next. Now, this comes with one of the smaller jelly plates, which is great when you're a little bit fearful of where to go, how to start, then I think this is ideal. So, Lou, here, of course, you've got the jelly plate, you've got the roller there as well. We've also got the black and the white paints in here. We've got the smooth white card in there. So, again, a great little kit just to start with, to get going, and then work from there.
I mean, when we go and play, I've given you that size kit as well, because I like to play with 2 plates sometimes beside you. So rather than just always mop up onto card, we can actually mop up onto a smaller plate as well. So you can do 2 lots of printing at the same time as well. So it is a bonus for that, and you can never have enough sprayers. There's me with a whole bag full back there.
Well, that is very true. So, do you know, we call it a starter kit, but perhaps you're not a starter, but you still want to go for this, so you've got the option to that smaller plate that you can mop up with as well. Great price again, £23.86, a £3 saving on this one. 240996 is the item number. Then we have more paints for you. So, we're going to move on to those. Now, we've got a primary set first of all for you. So we're going to show you that one. Great paints again. We can see, you know, you've got a good amount in each bottle here as well. We can see the name on them, the branding, which is a very good brand, Plaid. And a great price, because for £5, Lou, just £9.50.
I know.
That's ridiculous.
I couldn't believe that when I saw that. You know, when you just go, really? Really? And you've got a great range of colours. So you've got your primaries and your white and your black. I mean, normally you see a lot of us will use white to lift a print.
Yeah.
But black is great for adding detail to stencils, or you can add shading techniques to around the edge of your jelly plate. This is actually one I use a lot through stencils on top of colour.
Brilliant stuff.
And then you've got your blue, because you make purples, greens from there.
Of course,
oranges.
primary colours, always a good one to go for. You've got, your greens, your oranges, your purples, all those different options there. And of course, you can lighten down with your white, and you can also knock the colours back with your black as well. So lots of different ways of working with them, and a great price. You can't get much better than that. 350205. There is another option though. We've got autumnal for you as well. Actually, this is interesting. Autumnal, I can see the green, the brown and the orange, but that beautiful pink is in there, the candy pink, and the grey is in there as well.
Well, when you think about autumn, we forget about the pinks and the purples that you see in the leaves and the reds. Because if you mix a little bit of the brown into the pink, you change it slightly, you make it a deeper shade, and it's beautiful. Same with the orange with the cream. You've got all those different layers. Leaves are a perfect example of all the different colours you see. They're not just green, are they, at autumn time?
They're not. They're certainly not. Do you know what? Looking at that price as well, 5 pots for £9.50. I think you want to go for both of these. You can split the cost as well, so you only need to pay £9.50 today, because £9.50 will be in a month's time. 945879, the item number. You do have the choice though if you want to go for those. Now we've also got another plate for you. This is the 8x10. So not quite the largest we've got on the show today, but still a very generous size with a great saving, Lou, as well.
I mean, I like both. I like the bigger plates, I must admit. I have two, because I don't know why, but you know, when you just go, I have to. To be honest, one is stained with the alcohol inks, because you can use alcohol inks. You can use a range of things, and not just paints. We can use our oxides, we can use our inks, we can use alcohol inks. But it's a nice size to carry with you. Definitely.
An amazing saving on that one for you for just £27.99. Again, you can split the cost if you wish. 728173. Now there's even more on the website. Watch out for some of these stencils we've got. We've got more in the way of paints for you as well. We've got holograph illusion paints for you. Don't miss out on those. We've got the papers for you as well. Of course, we've got all those different size plates as well, and the feathers are there. Now that's interesting as well. We've got the tools, the edging tools. I've noticed on our little demo areas we've got some of those to play with as well, so there may be something you want to pop into your basket. So do browse through the internet, of course, have a look on our website, and we will be going to demonstration time. I've no idea what I'm going to be creating. I'm following Lou's instruction. I'm just looking forward to it, that's all I can say. Now, very, very busy out there actually. Over a quarter of the stock of the one-day special has already gone. Wow. You look absolutely amazed at that,
I am
Lou.
amazed, but I'm not as well, because it is a fabulous kit. It's a really good, it's a really fantastic introduction. And I know people say, you know, what can you do with the feathers? There is actually so many projects that you can do with feathers, and it's
a great gift for someone, that as well. You want to buy it as a gift.
It is, and it's. I mean, my boxes, obviously, I keep all my paints in afterwards because I store mine in a slightly different way. But the box is absolutely superb. You put absolutely everything back inside it.
Love it, love it. Right, so if we're going to get started, what are we doing
first? Now, my jelly plates are already out. Now, I've given you 2 different jelly plates over there. One is my old, well, not old, but a 6x6, and the other one is a 3x the little one.
Okay, so we do have this one available, of course.
Now, on yours, you'll have there's 2 acetate sheets.
Okay, can see them.
So you can peel those away, and it will go straight away onto your mat.
Okay.
Now, it's up to you whether you keep them those acetate sheets or not.
Okay.
For my larger plates, I do, not necessarily for the smaller ones. So that's going to go on there. Now, and then you've got the 6x6. So we're going to work with 2. We're going to try and work with 2, if that's all right with you.
Okay, just to mention that when it comes to the one-day special, the jelly plate that you're getting is the 5x5, which is a great size again, isn't it?
Yep.
Wonderful stuff.
I mean, it's a nice starter size, and it's not imposing in any way, shape or form.
No.
So now I've given you deliberately a plate that's older and a plate that's newer, so you can see the difference, how the paint goes on. Jelly plates get better the more you use them.
Yeah.
So, but the first time you put the paint on a new plate, it will feel like it's not sticking, it's slicking, it's moving over the front, which you'll notice when we do the 2 together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Right, so what I thought we'd do is we just have a play of doing some simple backgrounds to start with.
Yes, please.
Now, I've put some washi tape on there for you. Now, the reason I've done that is I've done your sheets. If you want to go back into the same place, say, time and time again, that's why the grid in the bigger one is superb.
Ah, I see.
You can I've put some washi tape there. You can tape your card down, which means you create a faux hinge, which means then you print in exactly the same place.
That's a great idea, I like that.
So I have put that there.
Okay.
Right, so I thought what we'd do is we'd start with just a simple plain background. So do you want to pick a colour?
Yeah. Just one of the regular paints?
Yeah,
that, you know,
choose one of the... Now,
does it matter if you start with a darker or light? Is there no difference?
If you start with a darker, I would then do my extra layers lighter.
Right, OK.
But it doesn't really matter.
So if I start with pretty pink...
Go for it.
Will that be fine?
I'm going to go for my normal.
I've got to say, I am an all-round crafter, but jelly plate is something I've very rarely been able to touch on. So this is another reason why I'm really loving this.
I'm actually going to go for pink, and pink's not my colour. So I'll be led by you.
Now, the pink that you've got there, Lou, I believe is in the autumnal collection.
It's candy pink.
And it's very busy, I've got to say as well. I'm not surprised at £9.50 for 5 paints.
So now, it is a real learning curve with a jelly plate. You can put too much paint on, you can put too little paint on, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So I've got a bigger plate, so I'm going to put 2 dollops on. If you put 1 dollop in the middle, a good...
OK, yeah.
A bit more than that.
A little
bit more than that. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And then all we're going to do is, using the brayer, is just brayer it out. So
now,
it covers...
I've got a brand new brayer as well, Lou.
I
Does
know
that
you
mean
have.
that will be better the more that you work with it as well?
Yes and no. It depends on how you feel. My brayers, if I show you there, have layers and layers of paint on, so that can add more and more texture. That doesn't appeal to some people. Some people just prefer the paint. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, any excess paint that you've got left over on your brayer, can you put it on your small plate?
I can. Does it matter which direction I'm going in? No.
Go with whatever your eye prefers.
Oh, I'm loving it already. I've only put one colour on.
And then the excess you've got, I've given you some scrap paper.
Yeah.
If you put it off on scrap paper. Now, with the scrap paper, I get used to doing mine either way, so up or down or side to side.
Yeah.
If you feel if you want to create a background using it, rotate it 90 degrees each time if you don't think about... And then that way you gradually fill up. Okay? So then if we just grab a piece of card, we're going to leave the small plate.
Okay.
And then just put that on the top.
Okay. Now, I've got a couple of marks in my bigger plate here, but I like that because I'm going to pick that up, aren't I? Does it matter?
It is, because it's one of my plates, so you've probably got some old paint on there or some old pattern, so you will pick that up, yes.
Okay.
So if you use the flat of your hand and just gently keep going over and over. If you prefer, use a clean brayer.
Yeah.
And you can do it that way.
Just put the pressure on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to put... And all we're doing is trying to pick up as much paint as possible, but it doesn't matter if we don't. And then I just find if I hold one corner of the jelly plate and pick it away. So you can see mine's actually...
Oh, nice.
Now, mine's got a little bit of the silver in that we've got in the one-day special, where I was doing the different printing, so it's come through on that background there.
Yeah, I can see it. I've got a little bit of silver in mine as well. I think I've picked up a couple of other flakes or something as well, but I don't mind that.
I think I was using both plates, so you do. So that's basically a simple print.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to work on that simple print and build it up.
Okay.
So this time, if you want to think, you can go for a complementary colour or you can go for a real contrast.
Okay.
I'm going to go for a contrast. I think I'm going to go for the cobalt blue.
Oh, well, I was going to go for that, but I'm not. I've changed my mind. Just so I'm doing different to you, I'm going for the green.
Right, now this time we're not going to cover the whole. So all we're going to do is we're just going to put some little dots. I'm going to put 3 and tiny little dots in different places on your plate.
Okay.
And then all we're going to do is, with the brayer, is just create a pattern.
Now the 9x12 plate is very busy as well. 20% of the stock has gone. Remember, when it comes to the one-day special, you get your roller in there. You get a 5x5 jelly plate as well. We've got jelly plates galore, so it depends what you're looking for. So you're just kind of working that in,
just like 3 different places.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, we'll go over the whole lot.
I'm not doing the whole lot. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
And then get your print, and we're just going to put that one back on top.
And you've gone on the other plate as well, you say?
I put my excess on the other plate, and then what was left on my roller onto my mop-up sheet.
Okay. Oh, I love this.
So you're going to use that pink one and go with the green that you just did.
Okay. So this is where the hinge, if I wanted it to pick up in exactly the same place, would have worked very well for me, but, you know, we don't mind, do we? We're just going to go with it.
No. And then we're just going to...
If I don't like it, I'm just going to stamp on it and cut it out like you did.
Okay, so that's now... So
I like that.
So we've now got layers, but using it with the paint, and we haven't brought anything in so far. But jelly paint printing is all about layers. It's creating a multi-layered background that's flat.
Ooh.
So there's some... Oh, I like yours. I like the contrast there.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, I was definitely going to go with the blue, but yeah, I quite
now,
like
if that
as well.
is too bright for you, whilst the paint is wet, you've got some parchment there beside you, which is the GelliArt's big parchment.
Okay.
You should have it in the
is
pile
it with
of paper
yeah,
there.
I can see it now. Yeah. Okay.
If you put that on top of your print now quickly, you should pick up some of the excess of the green.
Now, we do have the parchment available as well. You do get some in the kit, in the one-day special, of course, but we do have extras for you. A pack of 50. This is a good buy as well, isn't it? Oh, it's just behind me here as well. I'm just going to pick this up, actually. Will that be all right for a second? It's huge. What a great buy this is. Look at these. £12.98 for all those.
Yep.
These are 12-inch by 16 inches. Oh, you're going to cost me money again today, Lo. I know you are.
Sorry. You know when you go...
Do you want to play?
Right, so if you pull that off now, that should peel off some of the excess green for you, which will knock back some of your background.
Ah, look what it's done as well.
Yep. And it's taken some of it back as well for you.
Like
so now you can do that. So we're going to have a mixture. So we've got that background. We're now going to create another background. Okay. And we're going to then work on the two together. Don't worry about our little plate. We're leaving that to very, very, very last. Yep. So this time what I thought we'd do, let's put that to one side, is pick 2 colours that you want to work with. 2 colours? 2 colours.
Okay. Right, I'm going to go for the blue now then. And I'm going to go... Do you know, I'm going to be very brave and go for... I'm going a bit random here. I'm going to go for the orange with it.
Ooh. I'm going to go for... I'm going to be predictable and do a little bit of the red.
Are you?
So you're going to put a dot at the top of one colour, and then a dot of the other colour
at the bottom.
At the bottom.
You see, I'm mixing it up how I wouldn't normally do it, just to see what I get.
But that doesn't. That's half the fun.
Yeah.
So, if with the one colour, if you go and bring it down, so you've brought it down to halfway.
Oh, I know what we're doing. We're blending.
And then just take off the excess onto your sheet. And then with the second colour, do it, but you're going to work up now towards the middle. Okay. And then gradually, if you work the middle will then slowly start to change a little bit of colour. Yeah.
Yeah, liking that.
Okay, and then we'll just get rid of the excess of that.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I put some stamps in your pot there. Some foam stamps. These are the Prompty ones that are on the website.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the stamp, the foam stamp, and I'm going to lift it up and put that design, and then I'm going to put the stamp on the first bit I did.
Right, okay.
Yep. Does that...
Yeah, that makes sense. So from the jelly plate onto my background that I've been creating.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, acrylic paint does dry quickly, so if yours dries, there's no problem. We'll just pull another print in a different way.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So then we're just using the stamp and putting it on top of the other background. Okay. Actually,
I like these stamps.
Now, and then once you've done a couple of those, pull the stamp and then put it onto your smaller little plate that's beside you. Okay. And put a couple of images on there.
Ooh, now then, I'm gonna go this
I
way.
like the foam stamps only because they're easier to wash.
Ah, that's a good
And then
point,
once you've done
actually.
that, then it's going to be put your card on the top.
Yeah.
And we're just going
The
to pull
same
a
piece
print.
of card again, or a different piece?
A different piece.
A different piece. Okay.
So this is, we're just layering.
Yeah.
Now I've used foam stamps, but you could use any stamps, your red rubber stamps, your photopolymer stamps,
Yeah.
any. The only time stamping is a little bit trickier is if you choose a sentiment,
Yeah.
because it will come out back to front. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'll just pull it away. And then I've got a little bit of the colour left from before.
Look at that. Oh, I love that, Lo.
So we've now got that design, but I'm starting to build up this one, which is a contrast with the other stamps
Yeah.
as well.
Are you ready for my reveal? Oh, actually, I quite like that.
Oh, I like the orange and the blue. That looks really nice
Quite
together.
pleased with that.
Now you should probably have some residue left on the plate.
On the plate, I do, yeah.
Right, now this is what we're going to do is, you need to make sure it's a little bit dry. So if you've got a spare bit of card, we're just going to dry it a little bit more.
Okay, so just give it a waft.
Yeah, now this is, when you hear us all talk about ghost printing and things like that, all we're doing is we're adding a very, very light layer of colour to pull off what's on our jelly plate, which brings us back to a semi-clean jelly plate.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you use the white that you've got there, now it's going to be, you don't need very much at all when you do, because all we're going to do is, all we want is a very fine layer to act.
Okay, can I put it anywhere or do I
Yep.
put it where? Yep.
And so we're just going to put a very, very, very fine layer on. And any excess you've got, you can put onto your mini plate as well as your, and then onto your mop-up.
Oh, for a minute I thought I'd gone too heavy with it, but actually looking at yours, I think I'm
So
fine.
you can sort of see the jelly plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yep.
then you can either use card or you can use a bit of parchment. I'm going to go for a little bit of the parchment, because I like using the parchment, because the parchment, when you build up like this and then you tear it, it makes a superb, like, rice paper.
Oh, yeah, of course. I thought of that.
It makes a beautiful rice paper design. There we go.
I can't get over the value of that part.
It's huge, isn't it?
Everybody needs to pop that in the basket along with everything else.
So doing
is
the
busy.
white now has pulled up all the excess paint and pattern.
Oh, I love mine. I love
But
it.
that's the excitement of the jelly plate.
I don't think I've done it.
Isn't that
I really like
beautiful?
Look, you can still see the stamp there.
But-
Oh, I'm well impressed with that.
But now that background we can carry on working on and working
Yeah.
on if you want to, or you just leave it as is. Do you know what I mean?
Amazing.
Right. Okay.
Now,
so-
if I have to do some numbers,
Oh, sorry.
Lou, will it spoil anything?
No, this one we're going to leave to very, very last.
Okay. Okay. So, just going to give you a few bits of a recap here. So, the parchment, we are so busy on this. A third of the stock has already gone. So you need to be very quick on this one. What a great buy. $12.98 for 50. Remember, look at the size. You can see it there. 12 inches by 16 inches. That's the size of those pieces there. 292503 is the item number. Loving that parchment paper as well. Just the effect that you get in there. You see all the texture in the background as well. So I do like that a lot. Now, of course, the one-day special, extremely busy. Over a third of the stock already gone. This is straight from the pack. You are going to be crafting away. I will say again, if you know someone that's a crafter or looking for a new craft, what a great gift for somebody as well, because, you know, everything is there for them. They don't have to go out shopping separately. So let's run through everything again. Of course, you're going to get your jelly plate, which is a 5-inch by a 5-inch. And actually, I'm working with one of your older ones, which is 6 by 6.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, loving the size of that. So the 5 by 5, I think is perfect as a kit just to get going, especially. Now, something we didn't mention, we've got one of those tools in there. We didn't even say about that before. You've got some of the parchment paper in there as well. You have got the tool in there. We haven't used that yet, but I can see where we're going to use it. Of course, you've got your roller in there as well. Then we've got various different paints. So you've got your acrylic paints in there in the little pots, but you've also got, just while I'm talking paints, I know it's at the other side, but we've got the metallics. I'll come back to those, but we have got them. What's the official name for this?
Punchinella.
Punchinella. So use that as a stencil. You're going to get some great effects with that as well. We have got feathers in here. We've also got some of this very textured yarn in there as well. You do get 8 feathers, by the way. They will vary. Obviously, they're not going to all be exactly the same, but they're great feathers. And I'm saying that because I've purchased packs of feathers in the past for certain craft jobs, and you know, I've been so disappointed at the quality of them. These are really lovely quality. You've got the lollipop sticks in there as well, which you're going to use for maybe applying paints and things, but you can use them in your techniques as well. The metallics are here, of course, the ones that I mentioned, the gold and the silver, and I will show you the swatch again in a second. And then, of course, you've got some wonderful cardstock to be working with there as well. Just have a look at those samples. Have I missed anything out this time? I don't think I have I? Apart from the packaging, you did mention, Lou, that you get that lovely box to pack everything away in.
You get a lovely box that it goes in, but you also get, which we haven't got out, which I will try and dig out, a beautiful set of instructions in there. The instructions tell you about the jelly plate, how to care for your jelly plate. It also gives you 3 or 4 project ideas that can get you started straight away with all the contents in the kit. Now, your jelly plate comes wrapped in bubble wrap.
OK. I know what you're going to say.
I'm going to quickly grab one.
You're going to say, don't, whatever you do, throw that away. Keep it for your techniques, aren't you?
Yeah. So it comes wrapped in it. So this is a... So keep it, keep it for your... And that now is another thing that you can use.
Yeah.
I mean, you can wrap it back up in there if you want to. It comes like the previous ones. It will have 2 acetate sheets, your jelly plate either side.
Yeah.
Now, it's up to you whether you keep it back on there. The only thing with a jelly plate is if I stored my jelly plate over it would then gradually bend and it would take on the shape. So if you can store it flat, hence why the box is absolutely brilliant.
Of course.
But yeah, do definitely keep the bubble wrap.
Oh, well, we are very busy. £27.99, £9.36 is the saving. Split that into 2 if you wish with the Flex Extravaganza, 376, 375. Now, let's tell you about some of the other plates as well, because, of course, we've got various different sizes. So the next one is your 5x7. This is another lovely size as well. Lou said perfect if you just wanted to make backgrounds for your cards. You know, it's not overbearing, it's not too fearful, is it? You're not going to be worried about using that. It's just a nice size to work with. Yeah. And the stencil as well, which is absolutely great, a 6x6 stencil, all for just £22.99, a £5.75 saving on this one. Item number 005495. Then, coming up next, now this is the 9x12, which is the one that you're using, isn't it, Lou?
No, I'm using the 8x10.
You're using the 8x10?
Because it's easier on the screen. The 9x12... I would have to work landscape.
OK, this is the one that comes with the grid, so this is the largest one we've actually got then. £37.99, it carries an £8 saving, a third of the stock has gone. I don't think a lot of you have probably used jelly plates before, you've really got hooked on it, and you're just wanting to expand on the size you can work with. This is a great option to do that. 939498 is the item number on that one. Then, of course, we do have that little starter kit. Do you know, absolutely think a lot of you will probably go for this, even if you're not just starting out, simply because you've got that very small plate in there. You've also got the cardstock, you've got the black and white paints in there, and you've got another roller, and it's worth, Lou said it already, it's worth having that extra roller. For just £23.86, you can go for the starter kit. But if it is the first time you've looked at this, no better way to start, is there? £3 saving, 240996. And then I'm just going to borrow those 2 paints because they lend themselves to the next bundle as well. You, of course, if you're going for both of those, you'll get 2 sets. You don't have to borrow them like I do. £9.50 for 5 pots of paint. This is ridiculous. If you can afford to go for both sets, I certainly would, because you've got your primaries at the top here, but that includes the black and the white, which is so useful, as we've already heard, and we've just used the white one as well. And then the autumnal is the other choice, which I've got to say is absolutely beautiful. You've got that candy pink in there. You can see you've got the orange, you've got the grey, you've got the green and the chestnut in there also. So great combinations of colour. 350205 is the item number. I think you can see the colours there actually, but I'm just going to pop this in front just so you can see the swatches. Bring the details in for the autumnal for you. It's on the screen now. You can see we've got both sets on there. So if you are going for the whole lot, if you're going for both sets, that's what you're going to get colour-wise. And of course you can change those colours by mixing together and blending and doing all those wonderful techniques. Then of course, this is the one that you've got, isn't it, Lou? This is the one Lou's working on now, so another great option if you're looking for a larger plate. 8x10, a £6 saving on this one, £27.99, 728173. Now, something else that we've already mentioned, but a lot of you are purchasing already, are the extra of the feathers. Now, almost half the stock gone. Only £9.98, you're getting 30 feathers there, and they're all white as well, so it means you can apply all sorts of different colours and techniques to them. 145971. Do you know, even if you're not wanting to paint or use them with your jelly plate, there's so many reasons for having feathers for different projects. Now, the tools, we do have a bundle of tools as well. There are 2 different options. Now, this is the rounded edge ones. You can see those teeth on there, but they have definitely got rounded edges to them. £18.99, and then we've got the square as well. Very different in design, aren't they? £18.99 for both sets. You've got a choice of the one or the other, or you can go for them both if you prefer and just put multiples of 2 in. 819613 is the item number. Then we do have the holographic illusions pick and mix. Now, any 3. Now, Lou was using these not so many shows ago, actually. Really lovely techniques again with these. These are great. So if you missed that the first time round, you've got the chance to go for these again. £15.92 is the price. A pick and mix of any 3, and we've got lots of different colours there. 460081. Lovely stuff. Now, just with the illusions, Lou, they look milky in the pot, don't they? You've got different sort of glitter flakes in there, and the milkiness will dry. Yeah. So you see the different colours coming through. Yeah. Wonderful stuff.
They're brilliant if you know, like where we've done some of the printing, we would put the white down and we did our ghosting. Yeah. If you chose some of the lighter colours to put on the top of your plate and use that to do your ghosting, and it picked up all your excess on your plate, it creates a different illusion then.
Oh, now you're talking. Oh, do you know, there's not much of this left either. We've got 3/4 of the stock has disappeared already. 50 sheets there, and you have got the 12 by 16 parchment papers there, 292503. Oh, I shouldn't really say it, but I've been multi-buying on those to make sure I've got plenty, because I think you're going to use these so many times over. What a lot of lovely goodies we've got.
I know. The one thing we haven't said is bar the one-day special, all the jelly plates come in a hard shell, so you can, I mean, I store mine in there because I carry mine around everywhere. I know Leonie doesn't. She just leaves. She's, you know, your plate will stay around. You know, she'll leave hers on a glass plate, but you can keep the clamshell and put it back inside, and you've got, and it will keep it nice and secure.
I think I would keep that just to be safe.
I do, just for transport, and also I can then stack them on top of each other rather than they all stick to each other.
Yeah. They're not going to bend at all, are they, in there?
No.
Wonderful stuff. So, are we going to demonstrate some more? Is that what we're going to do now? Can I go back behind my little pod? Oh, I'm so excited. Right, okay.
Right. Okay, so I thought what we'd do is we'll have a go with some of the tools we've got on, and I've given you a selection of the different hard tools, and I've put some of the bigger ones, but I've also, don't want that, put some of the smaller ones there that in the one-day special. I put 1 or 2 because I've got 1 or 2 extra ones, but they all do exactly the same thing. Yes?
Okay, yeah. It's
so
nice
that
you've got one included in the one-day special, isn't it?
Yeah.
So again, everything you need to get started.
Yeah. So if you want to choose a base colour, I'm going to be like you and go for orange this time.
Oh, are you? Oh, well, I'm not going for orange then. I'm going to go for yellow.
So we're going to do exactly as we did before. We're going to cover the whole of our plate with some paint.
Okay. Oh, do you know, I've just loved being at work again today. I've had so many nice shows again today, and it's like, I just want to go home and play.
Okay, and then with the excess colour you've got, don't cover the whole of your little plate. Just want you to go around the edges to make it look like if you know, like when we ink?
Yeah.
Just to add a little bit of a shadow.
Ooh. I'm glad you said that, Lo, because I just caught one edge as I was doing the other plate.
No, that's fine. And then just take off on your mop-off sheet, okay? So now using whatever tool you would like to do, so I'm going to grab a mixture. You can drag it down, so I could drag it down and create a pattern, or I'm going to quickly, while my paint is still wet, you could, I love these, you could do little, you don't have to, you could do little marks.
Oh, can you do swirly things as well?
Yeah, you can do swirly things. So I can do a little mark like that.
Oh, yes.
I love listening to the... And then I'm going to just take some of the little bits. So if you put your tool, once you've done that, side on, onto your smaller plate, it will take off your excess paint.
Okay.
Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a print of that. So all we're doing with the smaller plate is, with paint and a few bits, is we are building up a massive multi-layered print.
Okay. While you're just doing that, Lou, can I just check with you? When you did your swirly bits in your tool, did you say you just went over the...
No, I did just to show that you could. Right, do you know what I mean?
So
I just dragged it straight down, or you can make marks with it. I was just showing that you could, you know...
Details for the one-day special on the screen, everybody, of course, because you're going to get one of those tools, you're going to get a jelly plate, you're going to get the roller, you're going to get the paints, you're going to get the parchment. What else have we got in there? We've got the feathers, everything there. Do you know, 40% of the stock has already gone within 40 minutes. So I'm loving this.
So that's mine, just by making marks on it, and just with one colour. Loving
mine. I love it, I love it. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Is it? Yes.
Absolutely perfect.
Okay.
Right, so we'll just leave, you should have a little bit of residue probably left on your plate.
Yep.
So we're going to build up on that.
Okay.
So if you want to choose, if you went for a brown, if I went for brown now, it'll merge in.
Yeah.
So you can either go for a total contrast or something from the similar colour family. You did yellow, so you could go for a red.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
I'm going to go for a...
Lou, just as you're grabbing your colours, I've just got to let everybody know. Guess what? I knew it would. Limited stock on the parchment paper. I am not surprised. I wish I'd known about this before I went live to air. This is such a good buy. £12.98. Grab it. Check your baskets out. Do not miss out on that. 292503.
Okay, so we're just going to put a layer of another colour on.
Okay.
And we're just going to cover that.
Oh, that's a nice colour you've got there.
It's it is one on. It's not one of the paints we've got here, but it is the creamer coat, which is also a plaid paint. It's on the website.
Okay. Do I have to cover the whole thing? Can I make it a little bit?
You can do whatever you would like to do.
Yeah.
You're getting very brave. Now, if you choose another one of the tools and then just make a different sort of pattern to the one that you did before.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm just going to have a think. Oh, you know when you think, why didn't I just do a straightforward one?
We've sold out of the parchment paper, everybody. Technically, anyway, that means that all stock is allocated in baskets.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not telling you what I've done.
I just wish now I'd just gone simple. Do you know when you just go, oh. And again, while you've got some paint on that, put that side on your little plate.
Okay, yeah.
Just way to do that. And then you've got choices. You can use the original print you have and print over the top, which I'm going to do, or you can use it and pull a separate print. So I'm going to let you choose what you would prefer to do.
Okay. You know, I'm just going to go for it and go over the top of the other one, I think.
Right.
This is lovely cardstock to work with as well.
This is the one we've got in the one-day special. This is the
lovely.
I've cut yours down slightly so it just makes it easier to work on the plate. That's all. But this is the same card. So if we pull that out, we've now should have a double layer.
Do you want to see mine? I've gone really brave, Lou.
Go for it. Oh, that looks superb. But when you look at this is what I love about the jelly print, because that looks multi-layered. That should look like it should be 3D. Yeah. And it's not, it's flat, but you've got the element of looking 3D.
Love it.
Straight away.
Love it. Oh, this is so much fun. Oh, definitely on my shopping list for tonight, though.
Is it?
Yes.
Right, and we now should have a little bit of a pattern there left on top. Yeah. And what we're going to do is we're just going to lift that again with the white. Now, it doesn't have to be white. It could be like a light cream. It could be...
A grey? Could it be a very
As long as it's a very faint grey, because you don't want it to be too dark that then when you pull it, you can't see what you've
okay, I think I'm going to
off.
stick to the white on mine. Are you sticking to white as well, Lou?
I'm just going to stick to the white because I think it shows up a little bit better on camera.
Yeah.
And again, we just want a really fine, thin layer.
Okay.
We're going to do...
We are so busy.
Okay.
One day special, we are approaching now half of the stock gone.
Right, so with your excess white on that you've got now, if you want to quickly, she says, grab a stencil and put it on your mini plate and then just take off your excess.
Okay, yeah.
Using the stencil.
Decisions.
Now, we are going to be naughty and use the parchment again, if that's all right. Oh, actually, no, I won't. I'm going to use black.
You do get some in the one day special, so that's fine.
Well, I'm going to try and see what it looks like doing it on black.
You actually get 12 5x5 pieces in the one day special, so
you do,
it's a generous amount, actually. So what are we doing now, Sarah Lou?
Just going to pull that off. So all we're doing is we're cleaning our plate, yep.
You're going with black. I think I'm going to do the same, if it's all right. Okay.
Yep. Because
just see the difference in the colour.
Yeah, and don't forget we've used white, so we will get some definition because of the white. We'll get some background, as it were. But as you can see, I like that. I've got all the blues, oranges coming through mine on the white.
I like that.
But that is a solid black cardstock that I'm using, and it looks. It's the noise. It stops you in your tracks, doesn't it? Oh,
look.
That I do like. Look at that.
I'm rather pleased with myself.
So you should be.
I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. We've had a great question come in as well, Lou.
Okay.
This is from Iris, and Iris is saying when she's using her jelly plate, she's using acrylic paint, but her cardstock is sticking.
It's because the paints have dried too much. So what's happening is the card is sticking to dry paint.
Okay.
If that happens, take the card off and leave the card pieces on.
Yeah.
And I would just put another thin layer of paint, put another piece of card on top, and it'll pull the whole lot away. But then you'll get that layer of card that got stuck to your plate as well.
That's a really good idea because, what was the lady again who emailed that one? Iris, because she did say some of her card or paper is sticking and tearing and it's leaving it there. I love that idea. So do what Lou has just said. Oh, I'd love to see pictures of that when it happens as well.
I like the way you're taking that.
The next question is from Ali. Can you use any acrylic paint on the jelly paint?
Yes.
Any brand?
Yeah, any brand. Different paints have different qualities.
Yeah.
So you get heavy-bodied paints, you get slightly runnier paints, but it really doesn't matter. Heavier body, the paint is all going to be about the drying time.
Yeah.
But if it dries, because these little plates here that we're working on have dried.
Yeah.
So we're now going to, when we finally finished, we will activate and pull all of that. So that is, so rather than just put all of this paint onto a mop-up sheet, this is why I love the smaller ones, because we're creating another background from the 4 or 5 backgrounds we've already made.
Of course, yeah. Wonderful. We've got another email from Christine as well, and Christine is saying, what surfaces can we use with the jelly plate? So not just card and paper, can we put anything else on there? Yeah,
I mean, I, for example, used, this is a box lid that I actually just stamped straight away on.
Yeah.
I've used bags, I've used plastic, I've used acetate, I've used anything really.
Can you go straight onto plywood or MDF, you said it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really
good. It's up to you. Now, with the MDF, it depends whether you want the wood look coming through. So you could gesso before and then do something like a really nice bold print and put that on, and what will happen is you'll get a bolder print on your MDF, or if you go onto the wood, it'll be like a craft card effect.
Yeah, got it.
But yes, you can.
Got it. Oh, thank you for the questions.
Oh, no, I love it because it's brilliant.
It is.
Right. Okay, how are you feeling?
I'm giddy as anything.
I'm just looking at the time. Do you want a quick go at printing a feather then before we...
Can we do it? Yes.
Yes.
I've got the go ahead.
So we're going to choose 2 colours now. So it's your choice now whether you start darker and we put a lighter on top, or we start... So it's your... I'm going to go... Oh, I don't know which way round. I'm going to go lighter and darker.
Well, because you're doing that, I'm going to go darker and lighter then, just so we can see the difference.
Yep.
So I'm going with midnight blue is my colour here. I don't think it's in our set, but we do have a blue in there, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We have 2
types of paint here.
Yeah. So I'm going to put the yellow down.
Oh, now then, if I wasn't doing this right now, I'd be upstairs ordering, because we've just had a couple of the parchment paper sets bounce back. So if anybody's missed out on them, you need to be very, very quick, and I am only talking a couple. So please don't miss out and grab yours now.
Right, so if you grab a feather, now this is where you've got choices. I'm going to try and do two so you can see. You can leave the feather whole, or you can gradually pull some of the little parts, you know, about. So I'm going to just do, I'll do one that I'm just going to separate the feather a little bit at a time, and I'm going to put that down on there. And then this one, I just want some of these little wispier bits to dangle down a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm going to put that down on there. And then I'm just going to grab a piece of card. Now, when you do the feathers, because of there being a feather, what you will find is you're going to need to find the central part of the feather. Right. And rub down on that bit first, so you know where it is, and then you can move your fingers outwards. Okay. If you don't do that, what happens is you won't get the complete feather image. What you'll get is just the edge of the feather, but then that looks equally as cool. Okay. But so if you find the central part of the feather and then work outwards. Okay. Oh, I can't wait to see what this one looks like. I've not missed anything. You've just gone with the one colour, so I have just gone with the one colour at the moment. Right, okay. And then we're going to, because obviously the feathers are a little bit thicker in the centre part. Yeah. No, I've just remembered. I've got another show with you tonight. You have, and we're going to do something a little bit different. So if I take, so it's now coloured my feathers. Okay. So I would layer them up and put different things. But that is my design that I've got coming straight through. I love the noises. Wait. Oh, brilliant. Now what we're going to do is put a slightly darker colour, but we're going to do it as a thin coat like we would do with the white. Okay, yeah. But you're doing a lighter colour, aren't you? I'm doing a lighter colour. I'm going to go for, what contrast? Ooh, I'm going to go with the grey then. Sorry? I'm going to go with the grey. Rainy grey I've got here. So we're going to put this on as if we were doing a light colour. Now, if we're to put these on as hinges, which we will do at 8 o'clock, we could then reprint the feather inside that print as well. Okay. But we're just going to do a simple, you know, lifting of the prints. Okay. We've had another question, Lou. This is from Maxine, and Maxine is saying, I think I know the answer to this, actually. I think I've heard you say, alcohol inks, can we use those with the jelly can? Yes. Alcohol inks do work. You need to put all the different layers on that you would do with your alcohol inks, but they are prone to staining your jelly plate. That doesn't mean your jelly plate's not going to work again. Okay. I'm just using the back of a piece of card because I am. I was just checking. No, it's not for any other reason other than for that. We have got just under 3 minutes left, I believe, Lou. Oh, mine, I did mine too dark. So my feather's not, I chose too dark a colour, so my feather hasn't come through. You can see it though. Yeah, not as well as I would like. But that's fine, I'm going to do that again. Go on then, see what yours looks like. Now. It's like I don't pull it off. Yes. Oh, yeah, you can just about see, isn't it? Yeah. But what we'll do is when we do it again next time, we will actually put hinges on our cards. Yes. And that will mean then that we can overprint and overprint and overprint. Okay? Sorry, I'm just cleaning up my jelly plate quickly. Okay. Now, so we've got our little plate left before the end of the show because I just looked at the time and I thought, yeah. Right, so I'm just cleaning up my jelly plate quickly. Oh, I like the ghosting. I'm going to use that as a. Oh, I can see my feathers now where I put the red on. But that was on the yellow side. Oh, I quite like that one. Right, okay. Have I got any other shows to do tonight? I just want to stay here and play. Right, so if we're now going to do our smaller plate. Okay, yep. Shall I give a time check? Got a minute and a half, Lou. Well, we should be able to do it. So, right, so I'm just going to clean my brayer off a little bit. Okay. So what were you doing then? Cleaning your brayer off? Yeah, just a little bit. Only because I've got lumps of paint on mine. Okay. Yours is probably not got. Yeah, it looks all right. Okay. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift all of this. So the white, if I use white, won't show through, but that doesn't matter at all. Yep. Now I'm going to lift mine with a little bit of the gold. Now I have You have given you some metallics. They're the metallic sheens that are on the website.
Okay. I may have to cut you off slightly, Lou, because we're getting so close to the end of the show. Let's just give everybody a reminder of the one-day special as well. So let's just do that. Lou, you're just applying, what colour was it there?
Gold. I'm just going to do the... Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Right, so over half the stock of the one-day special is gone. Lou is just applying the gold there. I can do my reveal at 8 o'clock, so don't worry about that. But you can see everything you get there, the paints, you're getting the paper, the parchment paper in there, the cardstock, I should say, the feathers. Of course, you're getting the jelly plate, you're getting the roller, and there's other bits and pieces besides that as well. All for that amazing price of just £27.99. 376-375 is the item number. And I can just see at the corner of my eye, Lou is about to do a reveal.
I'm trying to go as quickly as I
We've
can.
got less than 20 seconds left. I am going to do mine before I disappear out the studio, but I'll have to show it at 8 o'clock.
So that is just putting all the excess that we would have wasted on our mock-up sheet.
Thank you so, so much. Back at 8 o'clock, don't miss it. More